Welcome. Thank you for that. Hey, aloha. Thank you for being here. By the way, can you all give me the shaka sign right now? Come on. You know, for the Maritime Gig Festival is coming up here in June. We're going to set the world record. Joe's going to orchestrate it. We're going to get more people doing the shaka sign than any one event in the history of the world. Okay. Okay. By the way, next Thursday, you all have to wear your aloha shirts here. Okay. It's going to be warm. Yes, it's going to be warm. Hey. By the way, spring is here. It's finally arrived. Doesn't it feel good? Oh my goodness. What happens when, what do you call it when two flowers kiss? Tulips? Larry, did you say that? Tulips? Tulips. Mark, will you correct us on that? Anyway, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Our special guest and presenter today is Carrianne Ekberg. She is the new executive director of the Downtown Waterfront Alliance. She was born and raised here in Gig Harbor. Her parents ran the Shoreline restaurant. You may have remembered seeing her in the bar back in the day, eating ice cream. Yeah, that was before the Liquor Control Board knew about Gig Harbor, but once Gary Parker opened up his place, they started coming in here often. Anyway, Carrianne has a distinguished background in, she's also in lieutenant commander in the Air Force, lieutenant colonel in the Air Force United States Air Force Reserves. And she has a distinguished background in marketing and website development and that type of thing. So she's hit the ground running with the Downtown Waterfront Alliance. As you remember, Mary Desmarais retired a couple of months ago after serving for 12 years and really building up the organization. It is one of the premier downtown Main Street organizations, if not nationally, certainly in the state of Washington. Is just actually, and they've done a tremendous job in promoting business in our downtown corridor. So please welcome Carrianne Ekberg.
Good morning, everybody. I think I know most of you. I think I've talked to most of you in some format or another, and I kind of knew that coming into this. So I'm not really going to talk at you today. I'm not really going to present a ton. I really just want to have conversations with you guys. So like Kurt said, I'm new to the job. It feels like it's been a year, but it's been 3.5 months, 4 months. So we're so busy and there's so many amazing things that the organization does. We have so many awesome volunteers. So many of you in here are our volunteers, and we really appreciate you. But I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about Gig Harbor, what you love about Gig Harbor, what it means to you, because that's important to us as we kind of push forward into the future and we do the amazing things that the organization is doing. We're going to continue to do a lot of those things, but we're also going to add some things on. Like you guys see the youth coloring contest here, which I'll share a little bit more about with you. But I just want to start by asking, tell me what you guys love about Gig Harbor. I know what I love about Gig Harbor, but I want to know what you guys love about Gig Harbor. So you just shout it out. You don't have to raise your hand. All the water activities. Yes. Agreed. Paddler's Cup is this weekend, by the way. Who's going to go to that? I'm taking my kids. That'll be fun. I almost got convinced to be on one of the boats, and I was like, no, if you find someone else, put them in. So, but we're going to watch. What about, yes. Your wife lives here. That's good. That's a positive. Yes. Yes. I will tell you, I used to live on the East Coast. I was stationed in Alexandria, Virginia. Was my second duty assignment, and my now husband came out to visit me. He used to fly back and forth all the time. Alaska flight 1, 2, 3, and 4. We know those very well. And he went running one day and he said, man, people here don't talk to you. Everybody's wearing black and nobody says good morning. They just look down and run past you. They don't want to talk to you. But that's so different in Gig Harbor. Everybody stops to say good morning to you. You're walking your dog, you're running in the morning, watering the flowering baskets, right? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Larry, for leading me into that, which we still need volunteers to help water. So if you're interested, let me know. Larry's been an awesome help with the flower basket program for this summer, and they'll be hung right around Memorial Day. So you can look forward to seeing 75 of those beautiful baskets that all need watering, just so you know, with volunteers. All right. What else do you guys love about Gig Harbor? Yes. Waterfront restaurants. What's your favorite? Do you have one? The Tides. That's a good reason. I love the tides too, now that I can go there. When I was a kid, I was like, what's the mystery behind the tides? Now I know. It's a lot of fun. And boating up to the tides in the summer. Now it's hard to even get a spot on the dock. You got to get there early, or you can get your paddleboard in around the boats, right? What else do you guys love? I love the community, right? Like I still feel like I can walk downtown and see people that I know. I know it's grown and it's bigger, but there's still those familiar faces around town. Okay. Yes. What do you love to do? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah. Lots of activities. Even in the winter, I saw people the other day golfing, it was freezing cold out, but they're still out there with their raincoats on and they're still golfing. What else? A couple more things. Yes, all the breweries and distilleries that are here. That didn't exist when I was a kid either, right? Not that I would have been able to go, but most of you, how many of you guys have been here for a long time? Kind of natives like me. Yeah. I've been here 40 years because I'm 40. So yeah, same thing. So when I was a kid, you had to go across the bridge to do anything. Now I'm like, oh, I don't want to cross the bridge. You don't need to, right? There's a hospital, there's a Costco, there's Uptown. None of this existed. There's a movie theater where the springs don't pop you in the bum. I remember. Does anybody remember the old movie theater? Sticky floors and springs in the seats. It's not great. So things have gotten really great here, and it's an awesome place to live. That's one of the reasons I left active duty military and decided to join the reserves at McCord, because I wanted to come back home. I saw a lot of different places around the world and around the US. I traveled a lot of places like Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, there's a trend, North Dakota, South Dakota. And I was like, you know what? Gig Harbor is a pretty awesome place. I'm moving back. My husband was born and raised here too. And so, we decided this is a great place to raise our family. So it's a really cool kind of merging of young families and kind of older retiree population that make Gig Harbor so special. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And growing up kind of on the waterfront and my family had a business. So I, by default, would work at that business before I was probably legally able to. But that was in the 80s. So it's okay. But I kind of saw that community, right? My parents would open up the restaurant for Rotary meetings down below, downstairs, and they would hold soccer tournament, the end of year celebrations, and they would do that all for free because they saw what an amazing community this was, and they wanted to partner with all the people here. And that's what makes Gig Harbor, I think, what it is today. It has that great feel, that family, that community, that vibe that a lot of places don't have. Sometimes I think we live in a little bit of a bubble here. From the other places I've seen. I just got back from vacation. We were in Europe for a couple of weeks with our kids, and I was so ready to come home. Like, it was fun and we had a great time, but I like this bubble, right? I wanted to come back to my bubble where everybody knows your name, so anyways, I know. Yeah. So my job, all of these things that you guys have said today are all true of Gig Harbor. And there's so many other things too about the community in Gig Harbor that are amazing. And we have our problems and things like that, but I think we have a good group of people to work through that. So my job as the executive director is to make sure all of the things that you love about Gig Harbor and downtown stays, right? And to make it better too. So it's really important for me to hear what you love about Gig Harbor so that the programs and the things that we do help preserve those things. Our mission is to preserve the historic character of downtown, the beautification of downtown, and to support the businesses, the restaurants, the retail, the shops that are down there, and to help them thrive and succeed. Yes. 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 Yes, Gig Harbor is beautiful because we have such a great community where they don't allow things like garbage to float in the streets. And I was just at a Main Street conference a couple days ago on Woodby Island. So all the Main Street directors in Washington State, there's about 40 of us get together. And one of the questions they asked at the beginning was, how many of you guys feel like a trash collector? Like you go out and you're like the city garbage picker upper, and like half the people raised their hands. And I was kind of shocked. It's like, man, we have it good in Gig Harbor. I don't have to pick up anything when I walk on the streets. It's clean already. So agreed. I think that's very important that we preserve that too. So so I just want to share with you a couple of the programs that most of you know about already, but just want to talk you through kind of what we're doing at the Alliance over the next 6 months or so, and some plans that I have kind of for the future. So one of the things that's kind of close to my heart is the Youth Cover Art Contest and our coloring book. How many of you guys know about that? That's a new project. So just a few of you. So one of the Main Streets, I think it was Chehalis. I learned about this from them. They have a coloring book that kind of takes you through the history of Chehalis, right? And I saw that and I was like, you know what, we could do better. We're going to do, this is an awesome way to pull the community, the city, youth into a project that supports preserving the historic character of Gig Harbor and of downtown. So what this project is I applied for a grant, received a grant from the Arts Commission, and we are going to publish 5,000 free coloring books by the end of the summer and distribute them all over town. And so what it is, there's kind of two parts. So that we've, if you look on our website, there's a QR code you can scan there. We are looking for kids, so high school age, middle school, elementary, preschool, to design the cover. And so there's a template that they can use, and then they just get to kind of go to town and figure out, you know, what does Gig Harbor mean to them? When they think of Gig Harbor, what does it mean? And we've had probably 10 or 15 submissions so far, and they are so good. I can't wait. I don't know how we're going to pick the one, but the one kid will be chosen. Their art will be published on those 5,000 coloring books as the cover. And we're hopefully going to get them to do kind of a meet the mayor and maybe be in the parade. I've kind of had all these fun ideas. And then inside the book is called Coloring the History of Gig Harbor. And inside the book, we've actually put out a call for local artists, and we can pay them a small stipend to design the cover or the inside pages of the book. So we're going to say, hey, this is a great opportunity. We need to, you know, what is the history of Gig Harbor? We need to highlight the fishing boats, probably. Some of the, you know, history with the Native American culture as well. We have a Native American artist that's going to be doing some of that. Some of the landmarks that, you know, like the tides and some of the, you know, places that, you know, from the water, the lighthouse, right out on the kind of end of the harbor there. So those are the kinds of things that you're going to see in the book. And then we'll have a paragraph under each explaining kind of the history behind that and the significance of that to Gig Harbor. So it's a fun way for visitors, for current, you know, residents, and for kids to get to learn about Gig Harbor and why it's so special. So we are still looking for youth to submit some more cover art. So if you have a granddaughter, a grandson, son, daughter, niece, nephew, whatever, please feel free to take one of these posters with you. And we've got a few more days so we can accept those applications. So this is something new, something fun, and I think something that brings everybody together. So do you guys have any questions about the coloring book? You can do it too. It's not just for kids. I plan on coloring it too. Yes. Yes, we will distribute it out. So we'll have it at the farmer's market. We'll probably give it to some restaurants so that when kids come in for free, it's free. The grant that we got covers the cost of printing the books. All right. We'd be happy to give you guys some. Yes. Oh, okay. Perfect. We'd be happy to. We want to be able to give it to people when they come in, when they're boating in the summer, and like Chalk the Harbor and events like that. So did you have a question? It is not. We have some kids that have colored all over the page. We just have to be able to see the title on the top. So yeah, there's some great illustrations. I'm excited to share them. So for the individuals that don't end up on the cover, we're going to showcase those at the Summer Arts Festival. So you'll be able to see all of the submissions, and they're really cute. So we've had some high school kids, but most of them are elementary school age, and they're very cute what they think of Gig Harbor. So it's pretty fun. A couple other things I want to talk to you guys about. Mother's Day is coming up. So we're going to be sharing a lot of the Mother's Day specials and deals that are happening downtown. Also the flower baskets, like we've already talked about, those are going up soon. And so you'll see those, and make sure if you guys are up in the morning at between 5 and 7 a.m. that you say hi to those folks watering the baskets, Larry and Kurt, and who else is on my watering team here? I think there's a couple people. Also, farmers market is coming up. How many of you guys have been to the farmers market? Yes, it's going to be bigger and better this year, but not too big. I think we have about 40 vendors so far for our first market. We usually average about 35, so a couple more. And this year we've got a kids corner. So we are looking for a sponsor still to sponsor the kids corner, but our goal is to have a theme every week and to have different activities and different businesses come down and do art projects and crafts, and Harbor Wild Watch, do their touch tanks and stuff like that at the farmers market, because we usually have around 3,000 people come to that market. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We have a really great lineup of entertainment for you. We have an amazing entertainment sponsor. Thank you very much to Chuck and his foundation. And so we have, I think, only 2 spots left for the entire summer. We've got a great mix of artists. I actually reached out to a couple of local voice coaches, voice teachers, and they're going to do a student showcase for us a couple of times too. And they've got some really talented youth. This will be kind of the first time that those folks have been able to perform. It's kind of a low threat, have fun with it. So you're going to get to see some new local talent at the farmers market. And we will post all of this information on our website in May. And we're going to have a list of the vendors that are going to be there. We've got, a lot of the great ones that have been there in the past for us. We've got some really great new vendors as well, some new food vendors, some new craft vendors. And so it's going to be a really good time. It starts June 1st and it goes through September 14th. And we can always use volunteers to help with the farmers market as well. Chalk the Harbor's coming up this summer, and then we'll roll right into fall with our second sip and stroll. We just had our first sip and stroll of the year. It was great. We had, I think, record turnout for that. It was a lot of fun. And then we'll roll right into the holidays. One of the things that is really important to me, though, as I look at kind of this year and then moving into next year, is supporting the businesses during the off season. So that I think I've kind of heard from several businesses just in the last month or so that this shoulder season, they call it, I've learned, was really tough downtown. And so we have to find ways to bring people downtown, not just May through September, but October, November through April, right? Which is because it's a little bit darker and it's rainier. And so I'm putting together a list of ideas for some really cool programs that we can do here in that time. So after Christmas, kind of January through April, some really fun things, chowder crawl, some art walks, some things like that get people out in the winter time too. So that is all I had for you guys today. I just wanted to kind of share where the Alliance is going and that we're so happy to be here and why we love Gig Harbor. And our goal is to support all of you and what you love about Gig Harbor too.
Thank you very much.
Oh. Yes.
There used to be on the organization many years annual calendar contest with this kind of
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking about trying to do it in February and then at the end of it, kind of having a contest where people could come down and try it all. Yeah.
Not a race, but it was a time rally with foods. And so you got, I can't remember exactly, but you have these schools, you get kind of like Carrianne
Yeah.
food businesses. And I was thinking of one that would be, since we're there, having the water base.
Oh, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's a great idea. Well, you never know. Yeah. Miriam, what? Oh, could they not hear with the microphone? Oh no, so sorry. Oh no, sorry. Okay, we were just talking about some ideas for downtown, and we talked about a chowder contest and sort of a road rally, but maritime themed. So yeah, I love any ideas that you guys have. I am open. You can come and stop by the Alliance office. I want people to come in there. You can email me. You can call. Any ideas that you have are good ideas, and I want to hear them all because I can only come up with so many on my own, and I can only find so many from other Main Street communities. But we have lots of great ideas and lots of experience in this room and in rooms like this.
Volunteers down there, they pull up in the morning with their pickup trucks or their vans and load their stuff. There's volunteers to help them carry it to their location.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They get their cars up at the
Yeah.
And that's one area that's pretty good.
Sure. Yeah. So the question was talking about the farmers market and how we rely on volunteers to help us set up and tear down. And that is very true. Right now, we only have, I think, 4 groups filled for the entire summer. There's 15 farmers markets. And I've been trying to reach out to different businesses and different community organizations to see if they want to help with that, because that is one of the reasons that we have such a robust farmers market. The vendors feel really well taken care of because they can't park on the grass. Right? There's no way they can get their car in there. So we have vendors, we have volunteers come in the morning to help offload, help them get set up to their spaces. And then we have volunteers that come back in the afternoon, about 5 of them each time period, to help them load their stuff back onto their cars, because they have to all 40 of them are going to have to get their cars back down, their load, and get out. And as you guys know, it can get pretty tight on that street downtown. So if you know an organization or a group of people, or if you just have a big family and you want something fun to do with the family in the summer, you can do that. And if you are an organization, you do get a free booth at the market for the day. So yeah, it's a great opportunity, and we want to make sure that we keep those amazing vendors coming back. Got lots of questions today. I like it.
You mentioned that the farmers market would be bigger and the one is downtown.
Correct. Correct. Well, we actually haven't used all of the space in the past. So there is kind of a section off to the corner. We're not going to go too far into the corner, kind of past the pavilion, because the grass gets a little iffy and the geese like to hang out down there. But we are working to remap the way that it's set up and look at some space utilization to make it so we can fit a few more. We're not going to be able to go much over 40. That is kind of our capacity for the event, but I think we can get it. I think we can get to 40. So you're welcome.
And it's surprising to me that this 30 years in the town, I can't find 18 people to tell me the story of the history of the harbor and what's significant about there and types of business and things. And most of those are on the right.
Yeah.
First, that amazing. Okay, where engaging the other people somehow to learn the story, tell the story, illustrate the story, and make it about the community for our kids and kids and those that come to with them. I would love to see somebody with a spark in their eye and fire in their belly. Grab hold of that. Maybe it all is, and I just haven't.
So the question was talking about signage and the history of Gig Harbor and how it's not easy for anybody to find that, comes to town. And that is true. So that's one thing I've already kind of started talking to the city a little bit about is signage, whether it's signage for you jump off your boat and you're like, where do I go? There's no signs telling you where to go, but it would be very cool to have. We've got that space from the museum all the way to downtown to put a kind of a Gig Harbor history walk on that. And so as they're walking, right, there's signs along the way that kind of depict the history or some of the significant places downtown, the Peninsula Hotel, the old ferry landing, if they make it all the way out down to the old ferry landing, and kind of putting some like almost like a walking tour, but not but a stationary one. But we do walking tours as well. But yes, the historic home signs. Yeah, we actually, so one of our committees has been working for a while on a historic home signs project. And our first historic home sign is actually at the printer as of last week and will be going up soon. So if you walk by the Ross family home, hopefully in a month from now, if I can get the city to dig the hole and put the post in, you'll see a historic home sign there. And our goal is to continue to put those signs up throughout Gig Harbor. So this is kind of the first of many. So, yeah, but great idea. I'm with you. I agree.
Your thoughts? Creative ways to Gig Harbor downtown natural gathering of things. And I'm worried that we've got a lot of kids who would actually come. Wondering
Yeah.
things that you thought, how they could properly.
Yeah. So the question was about yeah, kids in town and kind of how to engage them with downtown. And it's actually funny you should mention that because at this Main Street conference, I have two little kids, right? And I need to engage them, right? And something to do. They can't just sit at home all the time. So we were actually talking at the Main Street conference about some type of a youth program, like a youth engagement program with downtown. I know that Mary had a program. She did it, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It was kind of Main Street through a child's eye and invited a group of school kids to come down and talk to the business owners and learn about kind of entrepreneurship and stuff like that. And I liked that idea. And I was talking to a couple of the other directors about something more permanent down here. So like Kiwanis has Key Club. We could have sort of a youth club that their goal is to, learn about downtown, help with the walking tours, be part of the events, be part of the businesses, learn from the businesses. So yeah, that is I agree with you. And that's one of the things that I saw that was missing as well. And I'd love to have something permanent and do that all the time.
Have been very active in trying to do programs, not just for the kids in the church, but for the
Yeah.
and the big space up there.
Yeah.
Other activities up there, they have been purposeful about trying to expand these programs into the community.
Okay. Can you connect me? I would love that. Well, is there somebody there specifically that I should reach out to, or I could just walk in and be like, hey, help me, but okay, just whoever's there during the day. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a connection? That would be great. Yeah, I would love to do that. Any way that we can bring youth downtown and partner and support the businesses, because ultimately, if the kids are coming downtown, the parents are going to come downtown, right? To get the kids. Another thing I thought about too was more summer camp opportunities downtown. There are some, but there are also the room for improvement. I have 2 kids and trying to find summer camp for them is tough. It fills up. If you aren't on the registration link at 7 a.m. when it opens up, you are not getting in. So, but there's so many, I think there's just some ways that we can think about. Summer camp doesn't have to be like camp in the woods where you're out and, doing games and stuff like that. It could be downtown at some of the businesses. We've got plenty of boutiques down there. It could be fashion camp or, some type of a entrepreneur camp, and they don't have to be all day. They could be half day. We have so many amazing restaurants, that my son loves to cook. He would love to go to a little chef camp for a couple of hours, something like that. Just getting the businesses, I know they're so busy and they've got a lot on their plate. So figuring out how to kind of weave that into what they're doing. But I think that's a great way also to raise awareness for the businesses that are downtown too. So yeah. So that we have not talked about grocery shopping for boaters. I did just hear yesterday, though, because with the Harbor General Store not being there, I did hear that Java and Clay is going to start to carry ice and milk and butter and some of the basic grocery and necessities at their location this summer to help the boaters. But that is something that has come up several times, and it's not something that we've been able to figure out yet. But give us time. It is on our list because that's very important. The boaters come here. They don't always bring everything with them. They don't have a car. They can't drive to Fred Meyer. And we have to have somewhere to support them. So agreed. Yes.
Yeah, have you thought of having high school social clubs, big football team, and something like that, participate in the farmers market moving?
No, but that is a good idea if they're not all sleeping in the summer. But yes, that is a good idea. Thank you. They're up. They're going to practice early. They're up. That is a great idea. And there's a lot of strong folks on those teams. So it's a good idea. One more.
Thinking about your culinary project, I did write them, but a bunch of things to remember. And how about a big Harvard calendar? So a version, I'm old school. I like a lot of big boxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have it, maybe have your culinary, but then take some of these images. And it'd be a big Harvard calendar. Maybe you coordinate your chamber and sell them. I pay $3 or $4 or $5 for.
That's a great idea. I think that's a great way to have the other artists, the youth artists, have their work too. Yeah. Yeah.
December, not third week of January.
Right, right. That's a great idea, Miriam. Let's talk about that. I think we're definitely looking at ways to do a virtual calendar, but also I do like to have a hanging calendar too, actually. I'm a little bit old school in that way too. And we can also have digital one too, where it can live digitally. And if people want to print it, they can, or they can go and see it digitally. And, they have these amazing programs now where you can click on it and it flips open on your computer like it's a hard copy calendar, but it's on your computer and you can see when all the events and stuff are. And that's something that Miriam and I have already talked about, is finding a way, one space to house all the events that are happening in Gig Harbor. Because there's so many different calendars out there. And I don't know about you, but I'm like, when is the Paddler's Cup? And I'm Googling the city and the chamber and all these, trying to figure out when that is. So having one place for a calendar, I think is going to be great. And also I love the idea of having a print calendar too, which kind of leads me into my last thought. Something that's really important to me. I really believe in collaboration over competition. 100%. That's how I ran my business previously. And it was very successful in doing that because I found that the more you partner with people, the more people you get to know and understand, and working with them just brings so much more to your business and to the community than it would otherwise. And so my goal is to partner with the chamber, to work closely with them. I know their district is a little bigger than ours, but it's really important to maintain that partnership, and also with the city to have open and great, clear communication with the city. And we've already started those partnerships. They were there already, and we're just building upon those, because everything that we do downtown involves the city or the chamber in one way or the other. So we should always be communicating and always talking to each other. So that's something that I plan to do in the future and continuing on. So. Yes, we live in a bubble.
But yesterday when I was walking about, guy, he did tell me in there, officers in there, so I said, give him a minute, he was on, I told him about these. He says, oh, it looked like this, I go, no, it looked like this. I mean, he says, yeah, I know about that individual, but there's another individual. I said, well, where are you from originally? He goes, I come from Big He said, no, I'm from New Jersey. And he said, I was based out of JBL.
Oh, okay. They like you. That is good. Yeah, very true.
Additional questions? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you all for having me. Does everybody know where our office is so you can find us? It's hidden. It's in the same parking lot as Netshed number 9. If you're standing in the parking lot and you look to the left, there is like a basement door that's underneath Harbor Nest. We're hiding in there. We're working to get a sign on the side of the building and put an A board up on the sidewalk. But you can stop in anytime. We're there most of the time. And we would love to talk to you and hear your ideas. And great ideas like this come out of all these types of meetings, but also just sitting and chatting with people. So come visit us anytime. Thank you. Wouldn't that be amazing? I know. I got to talk to my upstairs neighbors about that, but they might be open to it. There might be something in the works already. Thank you, guys.
Okay, now it's time to find out what's going on in the community. Let's start with our online people, and we have Brittany Wickens and Katrina Knutson, the city administrator. Let's start with you, Katrina.
Good morning, everyone. Carrianne, thank you so much for the presentation. Really love our partnership and all that we're working on together. The main thing I wanted to let folks know is the state legislature wrapped up earlier this week, and you may hear various things through the news regarding police pursuits and the Blake decision that has to do with drugs. 2 quick updates on those. Number 1, the police pursuit bill that was passed does not affect how our police officers have been able to pursue crimes. So there will not be additional crimes that they will be able to pursue, unfortunately. I know it's been communicated differently in the news media, and we are working on communication from our GHPD to inform our community on the actual effects of that bill. That being said, we are pulling together statewide mayoral group as well as city manager administrator group to work in the interim period with legislators to hopefully correct that so we can, for instance, pursue retail crimes. Again, the second item is the Blake decision, which bill which had to do with drug possession and usage being illegal. Unfortunately, the Senate and House did not reach a compromise in that. And so the Blake fix that was passed in the last legislative session will sunset on June 30th. And as of that date, unless something else is done, drugs will no longer be illegal within Washington state. We know that the governor is working with the House and Senate right now to try to pull together a special session to address this, and he feels confident that that can happen. However, we firmly believe that drugs should be illegal in our community, as do many other cities. And the Pierce County executive is pulling together a meeting of all city managers and mayors to come together and hopefully have a Pierce County wide ordinance that we can all pass that would make drugs illegal in our communities until the state can figure out what they're going to do about that. So wanted to let everybody know that we are actively working on that between the mayor, the police chief, and myself with the county. with our attorney, and we plan to bring forward something locally so that drugs will be illegal within the city of Gig Harbor once June 30th passes. If you have questions about that, feel free to give me a call. There will be additional information about this in the Mayor's Gigabyte that will be coming out tomorrow. And any of your thoughts and feedback are appreciated on that. To end on a happy note, we will be putting out our summer concert series next week. All the promotion for that will be going out, and we're really excited. We have some great bands lined up and ready for a really fun summery concert Tuesdays in our park down at Scansey. And if anyone has any feedback, recommendations on anything else that's going on in the city, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to hear your feedback and work with you on any of your ideas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Brittany, can you give us an update on what's happening at Penn Light?
Happy to. Thanks so much. This coming Monday, May 1st at 5:30 p.m. is our annual meeting. Our election results will be presented. Shafar Tagavi, our CEO, is giving a state of the utility presentation, as well as a treasurer's report. So I encourage everybody that is a voting member to call in. The call-in information is on our Facebook page, Twitter page, on the main page of our website. They can be found there. And also there was a public notice that went out in the Gateway in the News Tribune. Or you can always email me, Brittany@pennlight.org, and I'm happy to provide that to you. It'll be at 5:30 p.m. on Monday. Should be about an hour of your time to call in and listen and get an update on your local utility.
Okay, thank you very much. Penn Light, by the way, is a longtime sponsor of the Gig Harbor Chamber of Commerce Public Affairs Forum. So next, Miriam, would you like to give us a chamber update?
Yeah, we are actually very excited about partnering with the Waterfront Alliance. And so Carrianne has been great to work with. So has Mary Demarius in the past. So we're excited for what the future holds. The chamber is going to leave the building on July 6th, and we'll still have the forum, but we're going to be the volunteer organization that comes in and helps at the farmers market on July 6th. If you would like to join us, the more the merrier. So if that's something, it's like, yeah, I want to help at the farmers market, come join us. Let us know in advance. We're going to have t-shirts for you. So call our office and just let us know, or let me know, and we'll get you on there. Or email Matt. I'm sorry. So email communications. Thank you. Email communications@gigharborchamber.com on that one. Fun thing happening in the community today, this afternoon at 1 o'clock. How many of you like the scones at the fair? Fisher scones. Okay. You will be so excited right now to know that they're going to be in the Met Market parking lot at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So you can go buy all the scones you want. So are they? So we have experienced this, Peter. Peter has experienced it, and he's saying for the people online, they are larger than what you get at the fair. So that's cool. Anyway, so I just wanted y'all to know that one. That's kind of fun. The Maritime Gig Festival also is going to be, we're going to be doing some fun things in the park on Sunday. We're going to have the local makers in the park. We're going to have some businesses that are maritime related. So we're going to be having a booth for the boat shop, I believe. West Marine looks like they're going to be coming in with a couple of other vendors. We're looking to have paddlers or the Canoe and Kayak Club, the Learn to Sail program. So we're looking at having kind of a maritime thing along with the car show on Sunday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We have a sponsor for the car show, which is the LeMay Car Museum. So yeah, Janet scored them this week. And so we're super excited to have them sponsoring the car show on Sunday. So that's June 4th. June 3rd, remember, the Kiwanis have a pancake feed. They're going to be located this year, rather than up by the old Seven Seas, it's going to be by the public dock. So right in front of the restroom building there. So it's going to be right down there in the morning prior to the parade. So, go, grab your seats along the parade route and then walk back down, grab your pancakes. There's going to be a lot going on in the park. So whether you have space to eat it there or take it back to your seat along the parade route, that's great. We also will be having a business at the end of the parade going through and doing some cleanup. So look for them. They're going to be towards the end of the parade, like maybe I think it's the second to the last parade person. So and it's a realtor, and I want to say it's Windermere. Sorry, Larry. But it's a realtor in town that is looking to do that. Yes, it is. Yeah, Brad Bennett. Okay, Brad Bennett is the realtor who's going to be doing that. So anyways, so I'm going to give them a shout out on that one as well. So if you want to help being a parade marshal, maybe that's kind of your thing, let us know. Randy at our office is the one that's coordinating that. So just call our office, have a conversation, or email in, and you get to wear a cool safety vest, and you get a really fun Maritime Gig volunteer t-shirt. How many have ever volunteered at the gig? No, it is not going to be International Orange again. Okay, so we're going to have kind of a lovely blue. So it'll go with everybody's eyes, right? It'll bring the green, the brown, it'll bring it all out. So I don't know. Hey, Kurt, it looks like you've got something going on here.
Oh, man, Mary, thank you so much. I mean, hey, so this weekend is the annual Paddlers Cup, Saturday and Sunday. It was started many years ago by Alan Anderson. And on Saturday, they have the canoe and kayak, surf ski, and stand-up paddleboard races. Some of them actually go across the Narrows and come back. And those are adults and kids both. And it's just a really dynamic, it's going to be 75. It's just going to be fantastic. And then on Sunday, they have the community dragon boat races, which was started up several years ago by Alan Anderson and the canoe and kayak racing team. And that's how the Gig Harbor Dragon Boat team got started 8 years ago. After the community dragon boat, where we just, businesses sign up and put their employees on the boats. We take them out for training, that kind of thing. We decided we need to form a dragon boat team. So with the help of the Tacoma team, which comes over and helps us out every year in this event, we formed the Gig Harbor Dragon Boat team 8 years ago. And here's our logo. And this is designed by Al Abbott, long-term Gig Harbor resident, and Margot Sirach, who is a full-time marine graphic artist that does most of the graphics on the back of all the big yachts in the Puget Sound region. She's a founding member of our team, as Al is also. Just a beautiful logo. And it says Captain Kurt, of course, because our first year I was running a practice, and I told, after everybody got on the boat, I said, by the way, during practice, if you want to address me, you have to call me Captain Kirk. It's a play on Star Trek, obviously, right? So then Margot took my paddle after practice, and she came back the next practice and had it up there. So anyway, it's been a big running joke every once in a while. Every time we get a new member, they go, how come it says Captain Kirk? I got to tell the story again. But anyway, so it's a really fun event. Come down about 1 o'clock on Sunday, and that's when the races are going to start. In the morning, we'll take the teams out for a practice and training and that kind of thing. And we've got 10 teams signed up, which is our maximum, and it's going to be extremely competitive. This is actually a very competitive sport. It's all based on technique and endurance rather than strength. So anyway, so all ages compete very well with it. So with what's happening with PennMed Parks, we have the family dances coming up here in May 12th and May 13th at Ocean 5, and that's open to everybody. It sells out really quick, 2 nights in a row. Grandparents come, both parents come, and that kind of thing. It's just really a fun time. Now, we're also doing 2 feasibility studies at PennMed Parks right now. One is for a senior center, and the other one is for an aquatic center. On Monday evening, we had back-to-back meetings on the senior center steering committee, public meeting, and on Tuesday we had for the aquatic center. And those meetings are extremely dynamic. And the seniors, they want a facility right now, because if it takes years to build one, they're afraid they won't be around to enjoy it. And it's a real story. It's a real story. And then the aquatic center, I mean, it is just amazing. I mean, Efren Gonzalez from the YMCA, the executive director, he says we need an aquatic center, even though they have a huge pool and aquatics pool there. They're overflow. And by the way, the YMCA pool is going to be closed for 7 weeks beginning mid-May because they got to replace or fix the roof above it. And so they're coordinating with the school district right now. The school district making their 2 high school pools available for the YMCA programs and also for community lap swim kind of thing. So I'm going to be meeting at the school district today in the afternoon to find out more details about that. So that's another example of different groups in the community working together to really help this community. So anyway, and then we have in June, we have the Bike Bash and Family Fun Fest coming up at Zema Homestead Park later in January and June. And we're combining those two events together. Last year, they're separate events. We figured out they really work better if we combine them together. So anyway, lots to look forward to. Enjoy. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, Colette Smith, who is the president of the Peninsula Art League. She took over several months ago. She's a real dynamo. She's going to come talk us and give us an update. She's been meeting with everybody in the community, Miriam, and they really want to get more involved in doing programming within the community and the farmers market and that kind of thing. Yeah. And then after that, the second week in May will be Gary Parker and Joe Hillier talking about a senior community center. Thank you. Oh, Saturday it runs all day long. So, but they have races after races. So, yeah, and those races go down the end of the harbor and go out the harbor, so you don't get to see the entire thing, But with the dragon boat races, they start on the other side of the bay and end right at the end of Jerisha Dock there. Yeah, Sunday's the dragon boat races, though. But I mean Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Kurt. Kurt's obviously been working on his enthusiasm here, but anyway, thank you all for being here. Tina?
For those of you who are not planning to spend the day downtown for the Maritime gig, there's going to be a big band concert at Uptown in the afternoon. So shouldn't conflict with major activities downtown, but it does offer another activity, a whole different kind of venue. It's a big, big band. So those of you who love that kind of music, please show up.
Okay, thank you. And thank you all for being here. Thank you, Carrianne. Great presentation. And we'll look forward to seeing you all next week.